and then other stuff. Hi, guys. Go ahead, B. Ask me that question so I can answer it before I forget.
Why is there a Batman Day? What is Batman Day? Is it like Batman's anniversary of like what is it?
So, Batman, every now and then they just like proclaim a day for superheroes or whatever, and it's just like the day like you get a free comic book. Like today at the store that I went to, all the Batman stuff was like half off. It's just like it's a promotional thing, right? Only really comic book nerds care, such as myself. Which is why I'm drinking from like I showed you, my Batman sippy cup, and the Batman leggings are in effect. And the Batman comic books did happen. That's another thing, they give you a free comic book. Like you get the free, like whatever the current issue is, if it's Superman Day, you get like the Superman book that day. I know you guys don't care. You're assholes. Monero, you care. Alicia doesn't care, and Lady D doesn't care. But it's fine. Don't you love Batman, Monero, right? Like you heart him in a special way?
You guys are muted. Monero, you're muted.
I'm sorry. I was about to say, Comics Explained put out a good story today from the Batman archives. The Tower of Babel, that was a really good one. So he put out a video for Batman Day. It was real good. Well done.
Did you do anything for Batman Day today? Did you just act like it didn't happen? I thought you really cared about him, like close to Wonder Woman.
I did. I watched Comics Explained do something. That was like the first thing I did today.
It counts.
And I had to take a moment to ask God for forgiveness because I did that before I said my prayers.
Dang, yeah. Sometimes it gets close, like the balance.
That was wrong. It was wrong. But I did.
Hi, guys. Hello, everybody in the chat. Everybody watching this later. I'm Christina the Sphinx. I've more recently been known as Sphinx the Sphinxy. This is my side channel, the Sphinx. If you already know me and you came here for this, then you know where my main channel is. If you found me here, then my main channel is called Christina the Sphinx. And if you like the BS that you're about to see here, you should check me out and subscribe to me because I also BS the same way over there. Me and the lovely ladies here. Oh, I should probably also say the reason I have a side channel is because I can't live stream right now because the YouTube gods are not in my favor and I've been restricted. So I created this channel just so I could still do my thing because I love streaming. I love the interaction. I love talking. I don't like to just talk to a camera by myself. I like to talk with actual people who can hear me. I love the chat room where I can read what people are saying. The interaction, that's where it's at. So that's why this is here. Once my original channel is reinstated, then I'll be back, and this one will just flitter off into the distance. So myself and the lovely ladies you see here, their beautiful faces. You can only see one face. The other two, they're there, but they're behind those images. I hear you. But yeah. So me and those chicks, we are the Not So Silent Sisters. And I'll let everybody introduce themselves. We'll start with Alicia.
Greetings, everyone. I'm still trying to wake up, believe it or not. So I think after this stream, I'm probably going to be going to bed because Alicia kicked it way too long last night.
You need to man up, dude. I was right there with you.
Shit, anybody ask you all that?
Just saying. Lady Diligence.
Hey guys, I don't know if can you see me or is it my avatar thing? My avatar? Mm-hmm. Can you see me now?
No, okay, there you go. But where's the black wildling?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to throw it off. I don't want to, it's a surprise, guys. I have a surprise guest for you guys today. North of the Wall. Went and got this guest, North of the Wall. Very dope guest. It's definitely somebody you've never seen before. They'll be making a debut tonight, and hopefully they'll be a part of the show more often in time to come. Because tonight is going to be a special episode. We're talking about the Grand Northern Conspiracy, or at least an overview of what we hope to become, a really in-depth series over the next couple of weeks. So injecting a little humor tonight, definitely going to have some commentary from a not so well-known voice, of the people, but definitely one of the people. So
wait. I can't wait for the surprise guest. I've seen the guest and just talked to the guest a couple times, and
it's gonna be epic.
It's gonna be epic. Wait for it. No.
Hi everybody, Monaro here. I'm really excited to be here with the girls. Going to talk some Grand Northern Conspiracy overview. I'm really excited for that. My brain is already starting to work, so hope y'all sit back and enjoy. Yeah, I was kicking it with y'all late last night too, and I promise y'all, I straight fell asleep. I was like, my old lady syndrome kicked in. I don't even remember the last thing I heard. Just all I know is I woke up and I just saw stream has ended. Like, wow.
At least you turned the camera off. That's all I'm saying. At least you hit end and walked away before you knocked out. And hashtag JD the Dragon. We were on his stream last night till after 3 a.m. I'm not even sure what we talked about.
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't.
Yeah. You probably shouldn't go watch it. Don't go watch that.
I just know we had fun, and it was awesome.
We have 2 missing sisters. The North remembers my baby sis, Candace. She couldn't be with us today, and T-Baby could not be with us because she was up too late last night. It was basically JD's fault that we're all half-assed right now. Thanks.
Shout out JD, we love you.
Way to tear the sisters up. We're all like,
Shout out to Left Sack. What's up, Clooney?
Hey, Eli, Lab, Kyle, Renee, the usual suspects. I like that. I want to name everybody. That's the usual suspects. All right, here's what we're doing, okay? So the Grand Northern Conspiracy, or the Great Northern Conspiracy, whatever you want to call it. It's the business, it's life, it's happening, it's a thing that we need to discuss. It's way too broad to just talk about it, though, in one night, right? So what we're going to do tonight is just kind of just glaze over the top of it. We're all going to take notes. We're going to take questions. We're going to take comments. We're going to compile our stuff, and then we're going to come back with an actual well-thought-out discussion that we're going to do once a week, because it's at least 4 discussions worth of content. At least. I think it's more 10 to 12 discussions, 10 to 12 weeks. We're going to do 1 show a week, and we'll just see how long it takes to get through it. But we really just want to, we want to break it down because Jon Snow is now King of the North, right? And we need to find out what the heck is going on in the North. Is there a conspiracy? What are people doing? Is it on purpose? Did it just happen? We need to know. What you pointing at, B?
The chat. I need the link.
Oh. All right, I got you. Can any one of y'all give us just a general overview of what the GNC is, and I'll hook up the link and stuff? No, Brittany? No.
You got a whole printout.
It's way too much. I can't read this whole damn thing. Really?
So, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Alicia.
Sphinx.
Hey.
Summarize, man. No, you can summarize, dude. I told you my brain's already half asleep, and you trying to get me to be serious and stuff. This isn't gonna work. This is not gonna work.
Yeah, this really sucks. It's so deep, you can't even just paraphrase it real quick.
Okay, I'll do my best to summarize it as I'll do my best to summarize it from what I remember, because it's been a while since I read it.
Get it, girl.
So the way that the Grand Northern conspiracy works is there's different factions within the North that are plotting against Roose Bolton and potentially Stannis Baratheon, right? So we have Lady Dustin and her cohorts. They are plotting against Roose Bolton to kind of overthrow him. And I think part of that is the people from Barrowtown, the Tall Hearts, I believe, the Umbers, I believe. And I can't remember what, there's like 2 or 3 other houses. And I think those houses are like sworn to the Dustins. And then we also have Manderly, who may have his own secret plot, thinking that he may want to put Rickon as the Lord of Winterfell, because he sends Davos out to go and find Rickon in Skagos. So there is talk that he might have his own plan of trying to put Rickon as raise him up as the king in the North, so that he can marry him to his youngest daughter. Then we also have some other northern lords, some other lords, like the ones that were with Robb, because they know what the contents of Robb's will, that they may be trying to they believe that Jon Snow is Robb's heir, or that Robb named Jon Snow his heir back in I forgot where they were at the time. Was it Fairmarket or something like that? I can't remember. Anyways, this was just before Robb went to the twins. And so he drew up a will, and there were a lot of the northern lords that were present at the time that he signed the will, and he supposedly sent Mage Mormont and Galbert Glover to take the will north to go to Howland Reed. And so the conspiracy states that Mage Mormont let her daughters know, and that the word spread throughout all of the upper northern houses that Jon Snow might be the heir. And so there is a conspiracy that a lot of the northern lords are helping Stannis for the purpose of overthrowing Roose Bolton, but they don't really intend on bending the knee to Stannis, because they believe that Jon Snow is the true heir. Those northern lords don't know that Rickon is alive, and I don't believe that Manderly told them, but Barbary Dustin knows, because she went to the crypts and she verified that the swords were missing and that the Stark boys are alive. So I think she's probably going to be part of the faction with the Manderly faction. So those are the two factions that are operating in the Grand Northern Conspiracy. One for Jon Snow and one potentially for the younger Stark boys. But the end result is overthrowing the Boltons and the Freys. And I hope that I didn't confuse anyone.
You did a perfect job. Thank you.
Yes.
It was perfect. Literally, yeah, that's exactly what it is. That was the overview, right? Like the super short version, because it gets so much deeper than that. So what I've done is, in the chat, I'm asking for questions, because I want to create this series that we're going to do based on the stuff people are wondering, the stuff people think, and the stuff people want to know. So y'all give me your questions. I'm copy and pasting, and we're going to use that to build up our series that we're going to be doing over the next several weeks. But here's my question to you guys, just starting off. My tongue is just not working in my mouth. That's what she said. Okay, that was buggery coming through. What we're going to do, I'm going to ask y'all, what do you think started the conspiracy? right? Like, was it after Rob got killed or before Rob got killed, or when did people start scheming?
After the red wedding, because you figure they got the will from Rob that night, and then they left. By the time they make it to Howland, or Howland makes it to them, or whatever, one, they're going to Howland, so I put money on the fact that Howland has already seen it, that it's going to happen or whatever, and he's already aware, one. And two, since they're going to Howland, I would think that, they're not going so far north that they can't get communications. Like, they're going to find out what happened at the Red Wedding. I think that's the impetus for the Grand Northern Conspiracy. And I also, and this is complete foil, I think that there's really two. It's the Red Wedding, and then also the resurfacing of Catelyn Stark as Lady Stoneheart. Because I do believe that she went into the Neck and she saw Howland. I believe she went and she retrieved, I guess, what would be the will, or what would be whatever official document they left there in Fairmarket, and then came back out to terrorize the Riverlands. But I actually think that her terrorizing the Riverlands is a well thought out strategy that is a part of the Grand Northern Conspiracy.
Alicia?
I'm sorry, what was the question, please?
What would you say started the Grand Northern Conspiracy? Like, when did it start? What event or thing kicked it off?
Definitely after the Red Wedding. Because they didn't really have any reason to scheme much on anything before Rob died. He was handling business. So after that, their crown king is dead. So they have to go back and try to salvage what Starks there are to rule. Because the North is not going to be right until there is a Stark that's ruling. I don't know. And even if someone else did take over, Roose Bolton is not who they would want. So at the very least, they just want to get him the hell out of there. Go ahead, B. I'm done.
I tend to think that the Grand Northern Conspiracy, and this is complete foil, guys. I have no proof of this at all. My whole thing is, if it's the Grand Northern Conspiracy, if they know about the will and they made it to Howland, I don't see them not knowing about Jon's parentage or being told about it. I just don't. It doesn't make sense to me. It makes zero sense that at this point in time, when everything's going to shit, the Howland's going to be like, oh, okay, he's a legitimized bastard. Okay, and not be like, oh, well, he's also Rhaegar's son, and da-da-da, we have proof and whatever else. Like, I just feel like that has to happen. If not, like, what's the point? Like, they're there and all this stuff happens. Like, what is the point? Yeah. And I say that to say, I just feel like they're like, okay, he is, the son that's supposed to rule Winterfell, whatever. But I think that they're going this hard because they know that he's supposed to sit the throne. Like, you'd have a Northman in charge of the realm, which I feel like is an even larger, political impetus to do something.
Here's a question for you, Brittany, from David Adams. He says to you, do you mean they plan to have a Lady Stoneheart type, or decided to use Catelyn when they realized what was up? Like, you think?
I think Catelyn is sentient and went into the Neck. We have reports of her coming out of the Neck, or like of them terrorizing people, I think, out of Fairmarket or something like that, right? So she went up there. She went back into the Neck. So I think that Catelyn went into the Neck in search of Howland. And I think she found him. So I think, it's one of those sort of, not that they thought they'd have a Lady Stoneheart type or that they're going to use her, but the fact that she's sentient and she wants revenge. She's sentient. She's not something that, they're just telling to instruct. She's fully aware. And we know that because of the fact that she communicates, whether or not she's able to communicate fully or not, because her throat is split. That's one thing or the other, but she's sentient. She's fully sentient. So I think it's more of a partnership than a usage.
Damn.
Professor Diligent strikes again.
Always. That's why I can't talk to her. Because she always just blows my damn mind, and I'm just sitting here like, damn. Gotta go research. Monero, did you hit this up already?
I agree with everyone that it happened after the Red Wedding. That was the catalyst for them to even have a conspiracy, or for the conspiracy to take form. Because now things are kind of left in a disarray, right? Everybody's loyal to the Starks, but everybody kind of has like their own little agenda. right? Because everybody has a common cause that they definitely do not want to be ruled by the Boltons or the Freys. Everybody has a common cause. So I think the first thing that's going to happen is to get rid of the Boltons and the Freys, and then we'll see where the true conflict lies between those two factions. The ones that will put up Jon Snow, and then the ones that will put up Rickon Stark. I think, despite Jon Snow being named heir, if Rickon comes back, Rickon would probably be would still have a better claim to Winterfell, even though if Jon is found to be a legitimate heir, he's technically not the legitimate heir to Winterfell if he's considered a Targaryen. So I think, but I don't see, even if that were not the case, I don't see Jon going over Rickon, because he is not, that's not in his character. At least I don't see that. That's not how I read him. I don't see him. I mean, he's always conscious of the fact that, you know what I mean, of his siblings and stuff. So I think that he would probably like bow out to allow Rickon to be the liege lord, and he wouldn't, even if Robb had named him. Shameless plug for, again, Radio of Westeros.
Ooh.
They have a really good
Not shameless when you talk about like, that's just
podcast for the Brotherhood Without Banners, where they talk about Lady Stoneheart and what her role is with respect to the Grand Northern Conspiracy, and what role she's playing. And their North Remembers just talk strictly about the GNC. That's a good, another good podcast to listen to. Those two right there, I think if you listen to those two, you would get like the gist of what we are going to be talking about in these coming weeks. Sorry for rambling.
No, ramble on. That's what I want. Like, I want the rambling so we can get notes and bullets and be like, the things that we talk about or we think about when we're laying in bed like this, like, what are they going to do, about, like, yes, I lay in bed and think about it. I know I'm not the only one. Y'all can act brand new if you want to. But, that's what I want. Like, I want ramblings. I want random thoughts. I want to gather all this information, and then we just go in on it. So I have another question for you guys. And Monero, I'm going to start with you. Do you think that if there is a conspiracy, like everybody spoke, or is it just all these other houses wanting the same thing, and it just happens to be like they're all just fed up? Like, Manderly's doing his thing, Destin's like, doing her thing. Or are they in cahoots,
I think there's some communication with respect to everybody who's in right now. All the houses that are now in Winterfell, I think there's some sort of communication between everybody who's at the house in Winterfell. Because how else would Lady Dustin know to go to the crypts if somebody didn't tell her that the Stark boys are alive, right? Why would she go down to the crypts, right? What purpose do you have to go down to the crypts to go see the dead Starks if you hate them so much? If you hate them, why do you want to go to where they're laid to rest? What's the whole point of that? And why even comment that you notice that the swords are gone? Why even make that comment?
That's what you were looking for. That's
right.
What you're looking for.
So I think there's some conversations, and if you're reading Theon's chapter, he's kind of alluding to a lot of what's going on. If you kind of read his chapter, he notices things about who is talking to who right? He may not hear everything that's being said, but you can tell. Also, if you read Asha's chapter, she also notices some of the northern lords that are off talking and, you know, amongst themselves. You don't hear what they're saying, but as the reader, you're told that this person is talking to this person off to the side. And it would lead you to believe that, yeah, they're talking about something that may be about the Northern conspiracy. Now, are the northern houses, like the Klansmen that are up north with Stannis, communicating with the people that are in Winterfell? I don't know. I don't have any concrete proof that may be happening, but I'm not saying that it's not, because you have, I think it's Moore's Umber that is outside of the wall, that is outside, and Hothor is in Winterfell. So I have to think that maybe there might be some conversation, or there has to be some sort of a two-way communication. If there is a two-way communication that's going on, I'm going to suspect that Wyman Manderly has something to do with it, because a lot of people are underestimating that man, and it works to his advantage.
And he knows that. He says it. He's like, they think I'm weak because I'm fat as hell and I can't do anything. And he reveals a lot to Davos. A lot. And actually, when we really dig deep into that, like, that's something I have to go back and reread like a couple times, because he tells him, like, they think I'm weak, they think I'm too fat, so I can't do blah, 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 but, you know, I got these dudes, these horses, and they can just roll off, and now I can kill them, because guest right's been, it's expired. You know, like, little shit like that, like, not even going in a Frey pie. Like, Manderly.
When you're speaking about the Manderleys, if you guys go to An American Thinks, he did a really informative video about Lord Manderly and what he, within his own little regimen, could have been working on, trying to back Robb as king. It's quite informative.
He got them boats. He's been making ships.
Yeah, he made good points when they were at the harvest feast at Winterfell. He made some really good points. He was talking about building ships. He was even talking about minting their own coin. He had a lot. I mean, he was ready to really, like really think about future thoughts about how the realm was going to operate. And he was thinking about the defenses, and he was thinking about revenue. So he's, again, a lot of people underestimate him because of his size, but he's a pretty shrewd individual.
He's not stupid at all. He was thinking ahead, but some people call him overly ambitious and selfish. Like, he was trying to be like the hand of the king. Like, hey, you know, I'll make you money and I'll build you ships, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And so that's a question that I have that we'll go into. Was he just being ambitious in trying to preserve his house and progress in his rank and station? Or did he really care so much about the king in the north and he's just trying to be supportive? But Brittany, I was supposed to hit you up. I hope you remember, because I forgot it. I know you had something though.
It was a lot. The communication, I do think that there is communication between the Glovers, the Manderleys, the Hill Clans, and the Reeds. And that's because of what we see inside of Winterfell and then outside of Winterfell. I believe that the quote, green boys that are with Manderly are Reeds. They have spears. And that immediately puts me in the mind of Mira. Like, as soon as I read it, I'm like, green boys with spears? Green boys with spears? Like, those are the Reeds. In my mind, those are the Reeds. I don't know if anybody else thinks that, but in my mind, those are the Reeds. Additionally, We think that we see the Reeds at Moat Cailin. I gotta give somebody on Reddit credit for that. I'm not sure who that was that I read it, but I read that on Reddit. And I had to go back and read it, and sure enough, those small faces, you know, taking out the Ironborn, you know, peering. It's not the small faces that they took out of the castle, remember? Like, Theon was counting the Ironborn that were inside of that hall. That's all that was left. So
the Reeds were at Moat Cailin?
Yeah, they were at Moat Cailin. They were shooting poison darts, but them boys, they were inside of Moat Cailin. They were looking out of the windows. I mean, they were there. I don't know how they were there. The pale faces that they saw looking down, they cannot be Ironborn, because all of the Ironborn were where Theon was. And then they killed all of the Ironborn. So I don't know, reread it. I could be wrong, but reread it. So I think that I think they're there. That there's that. So I think there's definitely communication between those houses. And then those houses, I think, are the most trusted houses, because you have the Manderly and the Glover that came to the neck. And of course, the Reeds know everything, right? And so I think that those three houses were the most trusted, and then possibly not the Manderlys, but the Reeds, I think, were in contact possibly with the Hill clans. I know that there's a lot of space, but even if it wasn't the Reeds, maybe it was the Glovers, maybe the Mormonts, whomever. Somebody was in contact with the Hill clans, and that's how they became involved. And I believe that they are heavily involved, because you see what strength they came to Stannis's help with, right? They came with strength, but they came with strength and a plan. Like, we're here for the Ned's girl. Like, they have a plan. You know what I'm saying? So that's a plan. That's clearly an organized part of a larger plan. They have a clear goal, and they tell you what the goal is. Why y'all here? For the Ned's girl? They are literally laughing at all these Southern soldiers like, y'all gonna die because you look at your horses. Ha ha ha. It's not even snowing out here. You bunch of girls. We here for the Ned's girl. Like, that's it. So it's clearly like people have, I think, jobs to do. You see the Manderlys outside, goading them to come out, digging trenches and whatnot, through frozen ground. Who else is going to be able to do that with spears but people who can manipulate earth, like the Reeds, but whatever. So I just think that there's communication there. I don't want to go on a tangent. I'm going down the hole. Inside of Winterfell, to answer the question, I believe, from Candy, that kind of ties into this, if the snowmen are part of the hint to the Grand Northern Conspiracy, I think that that's a part of the communication network too.
Serious?
Snowmen. Yeah, so each time they build a snowman, that's to tell the Reeds and the Manderlys who are outside, all right, we got another one. After Barbary Dustin goes down there and sees for a fact the information that could have only come from Asha and Rickon, right, that these swords are taken, could have only come from Asha and Rickon. That's where that information came from. They keep verifying this information that they got from Asha. So they're verifying this information that they got from Asha, and once it's verified through Barbary Dustin, lo and behold, she now has a snow woman up there, right? So I think that this is a way of communicating. This is who we have on our side, literally snow men and snow women, like people for Snow, for Jon Snow. So
if they're using snowmen as a communication tool, that means they knew there would be that kind of snow before they went there, because that snow wasn't there before they came. Winter came while they were there, right?
I'm sure they probably could have found a better way to communicate, or a different way to communicate. But just like in any situation, I think you would find what's the easiest way, right? So perhaps it was passing notes, or maybe through that guy that was the Ghost of Winterfell or whatever, or some sort of communication that could have happened. But with the snow there, it's just easier to build those snowmen. And if it wasn't, then why isn't there a Bolton snowman? Why isn't there a Ramsay snowman? Why isn't there a snowman for the Lady of Winterfell? You know, the people who actually own the castle. And
because the North remembers.
Because the North freaking remembers, and this is a way of communicating. These are the people who are on our side. I do definitely believe that, Candy. So great question. I don't want to go on another tangent. I'm trying to remember. The next one was the theory on why Barbary Dustin won't go against them. I have a theory. They're cursed. The Barrow Kings are cursed. They cannot go above the kings in the north, or, you know, they start to look like corpses and they die. So she can be as mad as she wants to. The most she can do is stop the bones that she doesn't even have. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the most she could have ever helped to do. But I don't think she would have ever seriously gone against them, given that some of them were still alive because of that. she knows in the back of her mind, as mad as she is, her family's cursed. You cannot do that. Your family's cursed. So that's my tinfoil theory on her with that. And what was the last thing? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. What was it? You went in on Lady Destin, Manderly. Was there something else, guys? Somebody mentioned in the private discussion about a certain wildling like showing up. Or
oh, well, the wildling was so. Well, listen, we're not even halfway. We've been talking for 20 minutes. How long have we been talking?
I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. I just saw it, and I just want to bring it up.
Black wildling.
Because I'm getting sleepy and I want to see the Black Wildling before I go to sleep.
How y'all just busting out the special guest?
Put her name at the beginning, so people already know to expect it.
They just
The special guest is Timo 30. She's coming into the discussion. Timo.
come on, Timo.
Timo is sending y'all bad vibes right now.
Stop being a little damn baby and man up. Stand the F up and come freaking sit and talk with us. You belong here. You're supposed to be. All right, guys, let me ask you this, right? Book Rickon. I thought he was going to be epic. I was too turned. Like, when Rickon, I was like, he's going to ride in on this fucking dire wolf, and he's going to be all like, rawr. I've been raised by savages. I don't care. I'll eat your face. And then Show Rickon didn't even say a single word and got killed. And I was just like,
man, that whole thing was such a grand disappointment to me. Like, y'all know I write fan fiction, and in that area, Rickon is nicknamed the Savage Wolf because everybody thought he was gonna come back into the story and wreck shop, but no, it didn't
that's
work.
the thing I was most excited for. I was just like, next season, Rickon. Oh, when he comes back. And then I saw like pictures of him on set and stuff, and he was like hella tall and all big. I was like, oh yeah, it's done. He's coming in. He's a big kid now. He's gonna be like slaying stuff. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. We just got a new guest. The Black Wildling just showed up in the chat in the discussion.
Hey guys, just want to introduce my alter ego, the Black Wildling. I'll be here talking about issues that plague the North. The little lesser known issues. Lesser known issues to lesser known communities in the North, such as the Wildling. So yeah, invite my cousin Johnny over. Understand?
We can't have it.
A part of the struggle. A part of the struggle. He understands a part of the struggle. So, the Black Wildling is in the house, and I'm here to take questions about the North. I am in on the Northern conspiracy. I know what's going on. Everybody's trusting Melisandre. Nobody asked Black Wildling.
Are you having problem with the undead trying to kill you and bring you back to life?
Are you?
Talk to the Black Wildling.
That's all you got to do.
Are you looking for people that are dark-skinned and also like the cold? Talk to the Black Wildling.
I'm right here. Whole time.
Are you trying to figure out who your liege lord is and where he might be hidden?
I do.
Talk to the Black Wildling.
You should have asked me. I know this stuff, but don't nobody come ask me. See, Black Wildling.
You need to know how to make sexy furry hoods and cloaks and capes. Talk to the Black Wildling.
If you want to know who really built the wall, talk to the Black Wildling.
Okay, come on, let's think about it, people.
You want to know where to find weed north of the wall.
Do not talk to the Black Wildling. The Black Wildling cannot help you. The Black Wildling cannot help your ass. That is where the joke, and I am street up to that point. Thank you very much. I work in securities. That shit ain't funny.
I'm the one that smokes weed. You actually ask me. I'll tell you.
Oh my God. No one Don't listen to her. The Black Wildling says this is not happening.
The yellow wildling can tell you where to find the weed.
Not happening.
Stop it.
She said her name is not Tyrone Biggums. If you
No.
want to know where to get the good stuff, you got to go talk to Tyrone Biggums.
Yeah, I know just about everything else though. Like real talk. Like I ask her, not everything else. Black Wildling knows just about everything else.
I love your
Yeah.
What's up with them tunnels in the wall then, Black Wildling?
Tell you what's up with them tunnels in the wall. That's how Ghost got through the wall. Everybody like, oh, how did the dog get through the wall? Well, I mean, if it's a damn tunnel, right, and it's partially closed off, it'll probably be something you got to crawl through, something that you probably wouldn't see because your ass is bigger than, I don't know, a wolf or something that's like towards the ground, right? The dang wolf can't crawl over the wall. So he must have went under. Well, he can't fly over it. And he crawled up the wall. No, she can't. So she obviously had to go under the wall. Black Wildling.
that is cool. That's a song, right? Like you can't go under it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look, people, this is your chance. The Black Wildling is not always here. So
Yeah,
if you got any questions, you need to start asking. She knows things.
Order.
She knows things. Yo, she be talking to the Night's King on a regular, but don't nobody ever ask her what he really wants.
I was chilling with him because, everybody was like, oh, man's got this army, getting this army together. I was like, oh, cool. I went to sleep. I was like, cool, man's got an army. We're going to be straight. Man's got an army. And it was like this. And then I woke up, the next morning. I'm like, cool, what's going on? Come out my little tent. And everybody's gone. I'm out here by myself. So what am I going to do? What's Black Wildling to do out here by herself? So, of course, I go to the Night King like, well, I woke up and everybody was gone, dog. So, I mean, like, can I stay here? Because the reality is, winter is here. It's not coming. It's already here. Where is Black Wildling to go? I mean, the Night King was, like, right there. Like, you didn't see him walking past Sam? Right. So, if I was further than Sam, where do you think he got to me? I came out the tent. He was already there. Like, it was crazy. It's crazy, Black Wildlings have to deal with a lot, guys. Black Wildlings have to deal with a lot. But
Black Wildling, Varamir Sixskins?
Black Wildling does. Black Wildling used to date Varamir Sixskins. Like, it was not a great experience. It was horrible. He does not wash. It's weird. He wants you to like kiss the wolves. It's just not what you want to get into. Very short-lived, very uninteresting. Just not.
Six of his skins.
It was gross. No, Black Wildling can only warg into her miniature direwolf. Miniature direwolf, come to Black Wildling. He's looking at. He's like, what are you saying? Like, I don't even. Joey, you're a miniature direwolf. Come to
Black Wildling is a warg.
See, the Black Wildling is even a direwolf whisperer.
Chewie was looking at her like, what in the hell?
He's totally warging into that creature.
Yeah, right now. You'll see. That's why he's so calm. I'm like, in there. Look, I'm there. I'm talking to you guys. You can't even hear me. I'm not even talking to you guys. It's actually through your minds right now. The dog is talking to you.
Yeah, dude, she's like green seeing and like king graying and warging at the same time.
That's exactly what's happening.
That's skills right there. The Black Wildling don't play.
Black Wildling.
Black Wildling don't play.
I just want to thank you guys for letting me come on, because.
Oh, you gotta go? Don't go.
Oh, I mean, it's time for Lady D to come back because, she does have stuff to say. But I'm just saying, like, Black Wildling. If you have questions, just Q&A hashtag Black Wildling. I'll pop up.
Thank you for coming, Black Wildling. I appreciate you coming out.
We appreciate your insights so very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
With your presence.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Black Wildling be wildling.
Black Wildling.
Black Wildling.
Oh Lord.
I don't know if you guys know how big of a deal it was to get the Black Wildling to come on. Okay, she's been traipsing around, gallivanting north of the wall. We've been searching for her. We finally found her. She shot me in the shoulder. Alicia shot one in the leg. We healed. You know, it got better, but we had to prove that she could trust us.
Yeah.
And blood
Y'all need to stop listening to the Ghost of High Heart. Y'all really need to stop listening to Melisandre. And y'all really need to get on the Black Wilding bandwagon. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Black Wildling knows her shit.
Black Wilding. Thanks. That's it, y'all. That's it. I'm just gonna randomly say it. Okay, that's it, guys.
Oh,
it.
wow.
The story, my aunt got me that, and she got me this faux wolf pelt because she knows like I'm in love with Game of Thrones, and I used to watch with her son a lot, and he was like one of my favorite people on the planet, and he passed about 2 years ago, so she gave it to me. And when I tell you, my two sisters looked at her like, do not give her, are you gonna give her the, no. So of course I immediately wrapped it around myself and walked out into the hallways. I'm in New York City, I don't care. There's plenty of crazy people here. I walked out into the hallway, I walked around with it on, I didn't care, it was awesome. It was also May, so just throwing that out, also May, so very hot.
I'm just gonna call it right now.
That's what I love about New York, man. You could walk out of here. Ain't nobody gonna look at you and judge you. You know what they gonna do? They're gonna be like, yo, where you get that, son?
Right.
Yep, exactly.
You put me on? Can you put me on? Where you cop that, son? Yo.
Hashtag bring back Black Wildling.
Yo. See? The people are, you know what? The people are recognizing. They're recognizing. That's what I love about this chat. That's what I love about this chat. They recognize.
Kyle said you're welcome there in Canada. Not you, but the Black Wildling can go to Canada. Even if they build a wall. You're good. Damn, Daniel.
Hilarious.
My face just like hurts from the laughter.
I'm sorry. I'm happy y'all let me do that. I'll try not to be so long next time. Thank you very much for letting me do that. I'm feeling the Lady D grit. That's hilarious.
Nah, son. Ain't no thanking for that. The Black Wildling is life. We need not all the time, you know, like she just comes through and she drops the knowledge. It was perfect. Perfection. Send a raven to her and let her know that we need her next week during the GNC first convo.
She'll definitely have some insight on what's going on.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. She's pretty cool. I like Black Wildling. That was fun. Black Wildling's cool. Very cool.
So we were actually trying to talk about the GNC.
We were, and we were doing good too. Like honestly, like that was good. That was good. I felt
great. Like we've not done much. I mean, okay, never mind. I'm talking about myself. You guys have been doing actual content, but I've been doing.
Lady Diligence, Professor, if you could maybe schedule a meeting between the Black Wildling and the Irish Wildling, it has been requested. I think the folks would appreciate that.
Yes, I'll hit up Johnny and be like, hey, listen, okay, we have some Wildling cousin business to
send him a link. I'm gonna send a link right now.
Didn't he like sleep right now? Doesn't he have to work tomorrow?
Nope, he's off tomorrow.
Okay, yep, send him a link. I'll drink some coffee or something to stay awake. BRB.
I just have to say something. John Hopes, and I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Tell me if I'm saying it wrong. John Hopes. Like he just told me that I was the first ever Song of Ice and Fire related channel that he subscribed to.
Oh my God.
Awesome. Thank you so very, very much. Like that makes me feel awesome. Like, cause when I first started doing it, I was like, I'm not gonna have any subscribers. I'm just like saying, especially my first video, I'm not even gonna lie to you because it was a video. If you are someone who, you know, you see my timeline, like it was a video that kind of goes against something that's really popular. So at first I was expecting just a bunch of negative crap, which was there kind of, but for the most part, people were like, yo, are you serious? And this was great. So I really appreciate the love. And John, thank you.
He
That's
says
awesome.
it's pronounced Hafes. So
Hey.
John Hafes.
Hey.
Thank you, John. I know I've asked you that before. Yes, cakes.
Thank you.
Alicia, Kyle popped your cherry?
Huh?
Cherry poppers. Ew.
What are you talking about?
They nasty.
Kyle popped your cherry, or you popped his?
I don't know exactly what he's referring to by that, but if he means for subscriptions, he was my first subscriber.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, probably
He
that.
subscribed to me like almost a year before I even started putting out videos, so I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
That makes
My
me
first
wonder, too.
subscriber was Johnny.
Shut up. Can you send him a link, Monero? This channel, like, I don't have everybody's stuff, and my attention span is just not long enough to search through everybody named Johnny. Because there's a lot.
Morning to you, YouTube. I'm Johnny, the Irish Wildling. Welcome to Game of Thrones Season 6 bloopers.
Yeah, that's not him. That's not the real him.
Trying to fool
Yeah.
people.
I'm trying to find him.
History of Westeros, when they used to be known as AA Podcast, when they used to have Steve the freaking Italian before he passed away, God rest his soul. When they used to have him, they were the first people that I subscribed to. That was back when, yeah, Steve was part of their podcast.
How do you remember the first person you subscribed to?
Because they were the only ones that I was they were the only ones that I was listening to for a very long time before I started listening to anybody else.
Oh, I know my first. Yeah, duh. Yeah, I can think of it. It was Comic Book Girl 19.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, she was my first. She introduced me to this whole freaking world, and I was in the kitchen cooking like, what? What? Like, there's history and lore and books.
But now I'm in love with Radio Westeros has like stolen my heart from the first time I heard of them through History of Westeros. Like, I could listen to them all day on repeat. Like, they put out some really good content.
Radio Westeros was the first channel I subscribed to.
Yeah, they put out some really good stuff.
It was Radio Westeros, and then it was ANA.
Yeah.
Aziz and Nashar, ANA podcast, which is now History of Westeros.
Yeah. If you're like into the history of like the old history of A Song of Ice and Fire, they're really good to listen to because they go back into before the start of the series. They'll give you like the background and the history of all the houses and stuff. So if you're like into that, they're really good to listen to. If you're into like character analysis, then Radio Westeros is really good with doing character analysis. If you're like into the war and politics, then Brendan, what is it, Brendan Fish or
Brendan B. Fish?
Yeah, Brendan B. Fish and his whole crew. They're really good about, but they don't do podcasts anymore for some reason. They used to, but they're not on a podcast anymore. So, but they write really good essays if you want to take the time to read it. Them and another guy, I want to say it's Stephen Atwell. I can't remember, but I think it's Stephen Atwell. They write some really good essays. So, and I just ran off on a tangent.
Politics of Ice and Fire. That's the website?
Yeah, War and Politics of Ice and Fire. If you're into, like, they talk about a lot of the political stuff that happens in the story and a lot about the battles. So if you're like into like the political arena or if you're into like a lot of the battles and the strategies of how the a lot of the battle commanders, why they make the decisions that they make and stuff like that, and what are the politics involved in a lot of the things that are going on in the different houses, they write out some really good essays. That's why, like, when I talk about certain people and I kind of give them the benefit of the doubt, even though most people want to see them murder, death, kill, they have a good way of seeing both sides of the coin with respect to a lot of the politics. They have a really good essay about, Brendan Beefish wrote a great essay about the agents of chaos, and where he talks about Littlefinger and Varys. I'm not going to spoil it in case other people want to go read it, but it's really good.
I'm going to pull out a question from the chat. Emma, she asked whose channels are good to check out for beginners like her. I would say Radio Westeros, X, Forest, Comic Book Girl 19, Tony Teflon. He's at Teflon TV. And Don Willie does really good character profiles. Who's some other people that I'm forgetting, guys? Preston Jacobs.
Preston Jacobs is really good. But I would say if you are someone who wants to keep Song of Ice and Fire as it is for yourself, and you don't necessarily want to make it a like a post-apocalyptic thing yet, I would say look at the other people first and then go on to Preston.
Preston like goes like into other world stuff. Like he brings in like different elements, and he kind of he turns a lot of the popular theories on their head. Yeah. So if you're not ready for that, the mind benders, then Preston Jacobs might confuse you with a lot of things.
Yeah. I would also suggest going on the Reddit forums and the Westeros forum, like the Westeros.org, I think, forums. Check it out, because that's where I used to lurk on those forums a lot, and then I started commenting and talking to people and stuff, and that's how I was able to like get up the nerve really to come on YouTube, because I didn't even realize that YouTube was a thing like that. And then I clicked on some link, and I believe it was a Preston video I think I clicked on, and I was like, whoa, what the hell? And I ended up on Radio Westeros, and they were just great. It was just like, oh my gosh, I can understand this. And I loved it, and I subscribed, and then, once I got more into it, I could get into Preston. So that's why I'm sort of suggesting the read too. Like, go on the Reddit forums. There's tons of information out there that never gets on YouTube.
And also go to Professor Diligence's channel as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She has some really good theories.
I like when you call her Professor Diligence. So perfect. Camera, obey.
Yeah, I stay away from a lot of the forums because it becomes a little bit overwhelming for me. I find one, and the second reason I stay away from forums is I would never do any work.
Yeah,
because once you get into the forums and you start reading and chatting with people, look, you forget all time and space.
That's true. I can barely even talk to the chat and be in the discussion at the same time. That's why I'm usually like one or the other. It's hard to do both. And yeah. If you're on a forum and reading all that stuff.
Once you get on, you make sure you don't have to go to work the next day. You have all your snacks around you, because trust me, once you go in, ain't no guarantee when you're coming back out.
Or if you will come out.
Yeah, if you ever.
It's real easy to get caught up in there, and then you'll start reading one thing, and then you start reading to something else, and then it's like.
So this is the part of the program where we either decide if we're going to continue on, or we're just going to go into buggery.
I would like to continue with GNC, but it's up to you guys.
I'm down for continuing. I just need points and topics, and we can go. I'm wondering so much, like I'm all over the place. But I love to talk about it.
So I have a question, and this was based on something that Lady D brought up about Lady Stoneheart communicating with Howland Reed. So my question is, let's say for instance that they are going to go along with Rob's will that John is now his legitimate heir. If for instance they go ahead and legitimize John, and John is considered heir, and they get rid of the Bolton, they enact their revenge on the Bolton and the Freys. What now then becomes her? Does the light of life that she got from Beric Dondarrion continue? Because now she has, in essence, her revenge has been satisfied. Like, she got revenge on those that killed her son, tried to destroy her family, and everything has been set to rights. Do you think Beric Dondarrion's life that he breathed into her, do you think that will continue, or will it just burn out because she no longer has any reason for vengeance?
I think it's blood magic, and I think it'll just continue on. What do you guys think?
What was the actual question again? I'm sorry.
Wait, what's blood magic? You think that's what's driving Kat?
Yeah. Can you go into that, por favor?
Yes, please.
Well, my question was, if everything is set to rights, the life that Beric Dondarrion gave up and breathed into Catelyn Stark when she became Lady Stoneheart, does Lady Stoneheart continue to exist because she no longer has revenge to drive her? So does it continue, or does it die out?
Interesting.
So I think it continues, and I think it continues because, to answer your question, Christina, what it is about blood magic, I think that fire and blood are the things that propel all magic. That's what I think. I think fire and blood, or ice and blood, is what propels all magic in this story. I think that's what it is. I think that's the basis for it. And if not the basis for it, it's the thing that I guess it's the catalyst for the most powerful magic, because we hear of it being used when Dany does her dragons, and I think that it's blood that's being sacrificed, you know what I'm saying, with some sort of fire element for Beric Dondarrion and for Cat. In the series, we see when Beric is resurrected, he's resurrected next to the fire or whatever, and it goes up. Perhaps that's a callback for that. I don't know. But I believe that it is some sort of fire and blood element, especially because we have a fire priest that's doing the resurrecting. And we know that that's what they do. They burn things and all in order to imbue magic properties to it. Ergo, Home Dude's hand, not Home Dude, I can't remember his name. The Ironborn, not Euron, come on, Victorian's hand, his arm.
Yeah.
They burn things in order to imbue properties on them. Daenerys's dragons, that was clearly blood and fire and blood. That's blood magic. She sacrificed lives in order to resurrect these things that were kind of alive that she could feel calling out to her or whatever, but she used that magic. She used those magical properties to do that, I believe. Anyway.
You know what's interesting, now that you say that, in my rereads, you know when the red comet appears on the sky? Mm-hmm. And everybody makes a comment about what the red comet represents, and the majority of everybody relates it as fire and blood or dragon's breath. Mm-hmm. Pretty much everybody when they talk about what it represents or what it might mean, when you hear each character talk about it, those are the two descriptions that are given. Now you have a couple of people that say, oh, you have one Kingsguard say that, oh, it's heralding Joffrey's victory, and I think somebody else mentioned some other crap, but everybody else refers to it as fire and blood or dragon's breath. So I can see where where that comes from, because then a lot of magic has woke up from that point. You know what I mean? I don't know if the Red Comet had anything to do with a lot of the blood magic that took, that was able to come to fruition through the acts of all those players, but I don't know. I think it may have some significance.
I do too.
That makes me think of what we were talking about in the chat earlier this week. We were talking about the words fire and blood and winter is coming.
Yeah.
How they match up for each one.
Yep.
We need to go into some detail on that at some point. Unless you want to do it right now, because that'd be awesome.
That's fine. Go ahead.
It was your idea.
I think I thought you were going to recount the I'm kind of packing for Las Vegas too. That's why the camera's off.
Okay, so fire and blood, right? We know that fire and blood is going to herald the return of Daenerys coming back to regain her rightful place at, just like her ancestor Aegon is it? Am I saying that right? Why do I feel like I'm saying that weird? Aegon the Conqueror?
Aegon.
Okay. I don't know why I feel like I'm saying that so weird. But Aegon the Conqueror. And we know that winter, the coming of winter, heralds back to, the first long night. So now that, summer is over, and now winter is coming as heralded by all the white ravens that are going across the realm to say that when summer's over, but true winter is coming, and there's eventually going to be a clash between fire and blood and winter, right? There's going to be a clash between those two entities. So that's all I remember from the conversation.
I think B was saying originally that like fire and blood are instructions.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yes. Basically, I'm saying that I think that fire and blood are there. Everybody has in the story. All right, let me sit down.
Has house words. Yes.
In the books, we're told Catelyn, I believe it's in the first Catelyn chapter, she tells us that every house has house words.
Yep.
And these house words are usually mottos. They boast of things or, accomplishments or bravery or, whatever, honor. They boast or they're whatever they are. And except the Starks. She goes, except the Starks. The Starks have winter is coming. Right? And I'm like, okay, they have winter is coming. To me, that always sounded like a warning. Now, when we got the Targaryen words, fire and blood, I thought to myself, well, that's different too. That's not boasting of anything. That's not saying anything. It's just fire and blood. And what could that possibly be? Well, to me, I think that those things, fire and blood, that's what the basis of magic was for Valyria. Valyria was famous for its sorcery and for its dragons. I think those two things go hand in hand. And so I think that fire magic is fire and blood magic. And I think that fire and blood are the keys to awakening a dragon. I think that fire and blood are the keys to everything for the Targaryens. It's the basis for what they do. So, yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing.
You know what? Quaithe telling Daenerys to remember who she is could be a way of her remembering, okay, I am blood of the, what does she usually say? I am the blood of the dragon, and remembering that she will bring fire and blood. So that could be
you know, maybe I might want to rethink part of my Quaithe rant, but not really. Could Quaithe be from Old Valyria, and that is what her motive is?
Maybe.
Or, coming in and speaking to Dany or Daenerys? Could she be one of somebody from the Doom of Old Valyria, or some descendant of Old Valyria? And so she's kind of trying to say, hey, Daenerys, you know, you got to remember where we come from. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to remember, you know, fire and blood. You have to remember fire and blood.
Fire
I
and
don't know why I thought about. Have y'all ever seen the movie with Vin Diesel? What's that movie where he played the guy from Riddick?
Oh yeah, the Pitch Black series.
Okay, so the second one, in the second one, right? There's a scene where he is the last of his. Well, he's supposed to be the last of his race. He's supposed to be the last of Furion.
Furion.
So the part where he's out there fighting and they're trying to chase the sun, and then this fight breaks out, and then he gets knocked out, and he wakes up to find the guy that was supposed to be a convert, but he was left behind to give him a message, and that guy tells him
he was also Furion.
Yeah, remember who you are, because because he was also a Furion.
Mm-hmm.
And he says we all were once something else, and so it's kind of like to remind Riddick of who he was. Mm-hmm. And so, funny enough, Stannis was the guy that played the bad guy. Wasn't he?
No, that wasn't Stannis.
That wasn't Stannis? Why does he look like he was?
No, that wasn't Stephen Dwayne.
That was.
He kind of resembles him, but that wasn't him.
Okay, yeah, because when I'm looking, I was like, man, he looks like Stannis. That dude looked like Stannis, the guy that was the bad guy. Any hoots. I don't know why I turned my head for that. Sorry, y'all. I'm having issues. Maybe I need a nap. Anyhow,
Home Theor was that guy's name.
That was the same thing with Quaithe. I'm likening it to the same relationship of Quaithe and Daenerys, right? So now I'm kind of thinking maybe Quaithe might be somebody from Old Valyria, and the reason why she's wearing the mask is because maybe during the Doom of Valyria, her face got messed up, and so she has to wear the mask.
How do you think she would have survived?
Yeah. Could I be way off? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the reason why Quaithe has a vested interest in her.
Burnt. Maybe she's burnt all over. You have a really good point. She could definitely just be burnt all over, and that's why they talk about in the world of Ice and Fire these like half man races that are around Valyria, right? Like these burnt people and these lizard people and all this stuff. So maybe. Ooh.
I don't think Emma has a question. Is Quaithe a good or bad person? I don't think she's a bad person. I don't know if she's all the way good, but I don't think she's a bad person per se. But I've always been trying to figure out what her purpose is, what vested interest does she have in Daenerys? Because she keeps giving Daenerys warnings. Why are you warning her? What is your vested interest? And now that we've been having this conversation, this is what is popping in my brain. Maybe she has a vested interest because she is also from Old Valyria, and she is trying to get Daenerys to, I guess, reclaim the Valyrian great. I don't know. Maybe that's what she's trying to do. But she's doing it really cryptic. Could she be? Because who was it that predicted the Doom of Valyria?
Daenerys the Dreamer.
Could she have been? Could that have been her?
I don't see how it would be.
But I'm thinking that she probably must be from Old Valyria. At least that's where my mind is going right now. I could be way off, but I'm thinking that she must be from Old Valyria. She must have suffered some sort of injury, which is why she has to wear the mask and her eyes are always watery. And she's trying to get Daenerys to like remember who she is, like remember her roots.
Sorry, I'm eating, but that's the thing in Asshai. A lot of people wear a lacquer mask. It's like a style, like a thing.
I don't know. I don't think we have enough information about Quaithe to say whether she's good or bad. She's just cryptically there at the moment.
Answer your question, Emma. Yes. Their costume. Shit. Meeting. I'm sorry, guys. But Quaithe and Melisandre, yeah, their costumes are completely similar. Not the same, right? But the shape of Melisandre's choker, chain, or whatever is the exact same shape of the
lacquer mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the tiles on the mask.
Yeah.
And they did it on purpose on the show. I just read this recently. me and Dave were talking about it. Like, he was like, "Don't you think that it's crazy that like they have like the same emblem or whatever?" And I was like, "It's not the same, because Melisandre's got like this big ass red ruby, and then Quaithe has like these flat hexagonal type tan colored shapes or whatever." And then we just like agreed to disagree. And then I looked, because I decided I'm gonna like do Quaithe at Ice and Fire Con. So I started Googling her mask and how to make it. And I found out that the costume designer on the show literally made their stuff look the same on purpose, like Melisandre's necklace and Quaithe's mask, because they're both from Asshai. So she made them look alike on purpose, and I was like, oh, yeah, you were right.
But she's not beholden to R'hllor. She's more of a shadow binder, though, right? But maybe everybody from Asshai has that same getup, because that lets you know that they are from Asshai, or that they are coming from Asshai or represent Asshai. I don't know.
It's like a style.
Okay.
Not so much symbolism of what you can do, but just like, if I'm going to make myself something and I'm from Asshai, it might look like this. Because that's what Melisandre's stuff looks like, and Quaithe, and they're not the same. I mean, we don't have any evidence that Quaithe is a shadow binder, like, at all. Do we?
I feel like, let me see.
I mean, if I'm missing something, let me know. But I don't recall. I just don't remember anything.
Well, anybody who is, well, I know nobody. Somebody just made a comment. I'm sorry, I'm not catching who it is, that said that nobody's from Asshai. I understand that nobody is born in Asshai, but whoever has migrated to Asshai, they're, for lack of a better term, we're just gonna say that they're from Asshai, because that is where they're coming from at the point of that we are now in the story. So, but we all know that nobody is technically born in Asshai. They migrate to Asshai for whatever purpose, either as a young child they were brought there, or as a grown adult that they had traveled there, and they either become children are either sold to the R'hlloric priesthood, and they are trained as priests and priestesses of R'hllor, or they go there to learn about shadow binding. Was it Mirri Maz Duur there where she learned that's where she learned blood magic or whatnot? Marwyn was there. I guess that's how he learned how to use glass candles. I mean, everybody goes there if you want to learn the dark arts, I guess. Or if you want to master the dark arts, I guess.
Y'all remind me, but kids can't. Sorry, I'm not sorry. It's happening because I'm eating. But kids can't live in a shy, right? Like, there's no children.
They're not born there. They can't be born there. But Melisandre was taken there as a young child, and was sold to the House of R'hllor, or the Church of R'hllor, or the House of R'hllor, I guess. That's where she was.
Interesting is the age she was taken, right? Like, are you still a child? Like, was she flowered? And then
No, she was 7. I think that's what her POV. Well, that's what her POV alludes to, that she was a child of 7.
It says 7.
A 7. I think that's what her POV.
No.
At
You're
the
just
age
her
of-
auction block. Like, they yelled numbers. That was like her auction number or whatever.
Yeah, but according to her, she was taken in at the House of in the House of R'hllor when she was a child.
But that was in a shire.
That was in a shy. That was in a shy.
Yeah. I want to know. I want to have a clear understanding of.
Maybe when we get the Winds of Winter, because she'll be a POV character, and since we won't be going to Ashai, I'm thinking that we will get a lot more about Ashai through her POV character. She'll do a lot of remembering, because we got a glimpse of it in Dance with Dragons. So,
Alicia, you want to answer that question that you just
Yeah, it's from David. He says, do all of you think Quaithe is a real person? I think she's a real person. I just don't know where the hell she's from or what her actual investment in Dany would be.
Yeah, I do. I think she's a person.
that's right, Candy. She is introduced as a shadow binder from Ashai. That's correct. Yeah. And when they get to Vace the Loro, that is how she's introduced. Mm-hmm. Not Vace the Loro. When they get to
Karth.
Yeah, that is Vace the Loro, because it was her, Pyat Pree, and Xaro Dan Daxos.
That was Karth.
Yeah, that was Karth.
No, when she was in Vace the Loro, she sent out the Blood Riders. The last one to come back, I don't remember if it was Joke.
Oh yeah, they all came back together.
He brought them from Karth to Vace the Loro.
So
he said they came seeking dragons. Yeah,
they came together. You're right. Random girl.
What are you eating?
I don't even want to tell you. You guys made it up. It's delicious, but Eli doesn't have a name or a thing.
It's cook up rice.
Don't say that, because then I'm gonna have to jump through the screen and take it from her. Don't do that.
I cooked up some Tennessee Pride sausage, like the hot, spicy kind, and then I made some rice and I just like chopped it up together.
Cook up rice. That's what we call it.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
It's
a one pot dish. You just put everything with rice. It's cook up rice.
I mean, I'm Mexican, so that's what we do. Like meat and rice, just make some and then put them together.
Yep. That's what we refer to as a one pot dish. Some cook up rice.
That's really good. I'm gonna do this more often. I'm cleaning my plate. I'm sorry. Look away.
Is there another question in the chat?
That was really good.
I haven't seen anyone. Does you guys in the chat, you got any other questions?
With respect to either the Grand Northern Conspiracy or...
Yeah, for real. We'll give you all just a couple minutes to drop off the questions because I need to write them down so we can actually address them when we do the series. And then we're going to end this because I don't want this to be buggery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buggery will happen. The buggery is coming, just like winter.
Winter's already here.
Yeah. I'm right at my buggery level. Like Buggery's here. So
one more glass of Arbor Gold should be ready.
Yeah, Renee, I'm trying to get back to the North. Does anybody have any questions? We're trying to find out if anybody has any, because we've already given the overview. We've already given the overview for the Grand Northern Conspiracy. So we're just trying to see if anybody has any questions with respect to the overview that we just went over. I'm sorry, Lady D.
Brittany got questions. Brittany would like to know, what do you guys think about what we were talking about earlier about the reeds being there? Like, what do you guys think about it? Like, I just said it, and everybody was just like, all right. And we just kind of, but what do you guys think?
I'm sorry, repeat that?
Think about what?
The reeds being outside of Winterfell. Do you think that's them?
I did not know the reeds were out there.
I don't disagree that the reeds are maybe outside of Winter. I don't know. When they talk about Green Boys to me, from what I'm understanding, and that's not to say that it's not the reeds, but whenever they refer to Green Boys, they're talking about people that are like new, like they're just newly trained. They haven't had any battle experience, but that's not to say that the Green Boys that they're referring to could not be the reeds. But anytime they talk about anybody from that area, they usually refer to them as Crannogmen or Frogmen. So I would have assumed that they probably would have given them the same name. But again, that's not to say that they're not reeds out there, because they are being trained with, Crannogmen are known to fight with spears, but they're also known to be, use guerrilla tactics. When they fight, they don't fight out in the open. They use a lot of guerrilla tactics. So I'm not saying that they're not out there, because it could very well be that they are, but I would figure that they probably would have called them out, more definitively, other than to say Green Boys, because that's what. Isn't that what Theon in his Winds of Winter chapter says? Like he's got nothing but Green Boys, and I think he was referring to Wyman. Was it Wyman Manderly he was referring to? I haven't read the chapter in a while.
It was referring to the Umber that was outside.
Okay, yeah. So it could very well be that they like the Reeds have made their way north in order to reinforce Moore's Umber, who is outside of Winterfell. So I'm not gonna say no that it's not them.
Anybody else? Like, no. Okay, so for the Green Boys thing, I think the reason why he's doing it is because it's George, and he doesn't want to just tell us like the Reeds are here, because if so, then that opens up a whole can of worms. Because if the Reeds are there, then that means everybody knows that Jon is who he is. Most likely, like, so I think that's why. And the one thing that sticks me out to make me go, I don't think that it's boys from the north, is because they have spears. Why do they have spears? Men in the north do not have spears. Wildlings carry spears, and people in the neck carry spears. Everybody else rocks a sword, a battle axe, a mace. They don't have spears. So, like, what are you doing with all these Green Boys? And I think it's alluding to the fact that they look young, and Crannogmen are small. So, yeah. And then there was something else, but I don't remember. Next question? You want next question?
You gonna read Timo's question?
Go ahead.
Timo.
Question, because she won't bring her ass.
Timo asked, how do you think it will end? Do you think they will actually succeed in their goal, or what problems do you foresee with their plans?
I think they're going to succeed. Like, I think that the battle at the Crofters Village is going to be crazy, and I think that there's going to be something that goes down at Winterfell too. I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I do believe there's going to be two different battles or two different things going on. And I I don't see any huge problems. I don't know what problems there could be. Like, I really don't. I don't know what other problems there could be. Like, at this point, they're at pretty rock bottom, guys. Like, Stannis is in the village starving. Jon is dead. Like, there's not much. It can't get much worse than this. It really can't. There's nowhere to go but up from here, guys. So I think that I think they'll be okay. I think it's gonna be crazy what the battles are like, but I think in the end that it's just gonna work out. I think they're gonna succeed in their goal, but I think what's gonna be nuts is when Jon finally finds out what other people know. You know, and maybe not everybody knows, but they know something because they're verifying information from Asha. That's what they did when they got Homegirl, Jane Poole, and that's what they're doing inside of Winterfell is turning each one of those lords, taking them down there and showing them that the swords are missing and stuff. Like, they're verifying stuff that they could have only got from Asha. And I think that they're doing that because they have a larger plan worked out. That's what it signals to me, that they have a larger plan worked
out. I have a question. How would they have gotten that information from Asha? How did Asha translate that information? Because I thought they got that information from Wex.
From Wex, that they got the swords?
Yeah.
And that they were staying in the... Well, that's true, because he could have just told them that. That's true. He could have just told them Wex. It could have just been Wex. That's true. It could have just been Wex. But I feel like what it is because of when they get on the outside of Asha, outside of Winterfell, when I was telling you about Asha banging the and all that. So, like Preston brought up. So I think that it's just, I feel like they're verifying information that they know is true from credible sources. And I think that they have Rickon. I think that means that, Davos got Rickon. That they have Rickon. That's why they're doing this.
Okay.
I think I'm with you. I think it will end. I don't think it's gonna end with roses and candy gumdrops. I think they're and because that's just the way Martin is, right? And not everything is gonna have like the perfect ending. But I do believe it will end. I think that Davos will find Rickon and Osha, and I think he's gonna travel by way of. Hopefully, he doesn't travel by way of Eastwatch.
Oh my God!
If he does, then they done. They are done. But if he comes through. I forgot what that body of water is. What's that area? Because that's close to where the Dreadfort, not the Dreadfort, where the Hornwood lands are, right? That area when you come down from Skagos, when you're heading south from Skagos. I'm not really good with the maps, but
it's by Carhold. Like if they come straight down.
Okay, right. If they take that route, they'll probably run into Stannis as they're heading south.
Or they could go to Last Hearth because they could just go over land, which is why I think that they have. That's why I think that Asha's there. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, they go over land.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna end. Do I think it's gonna end pretty? I don't think it's gonna end pretty. I think there's gonna be some losses somewhere. I think when Jon comes back, I'm not one of those people that's gonna. I don't think that Jon coming back in the books is gonna be the same as Jon coming back on the show. No. I believe that Jon is gonna take more of Ghost's tendencies when he comes back because I believe he did warg into Ghost, and he's gonna be in Ghost for a period of time, and I think he's going to take on some of Ghost's characteristics if and when he is resurrected. So I don't think he's gonna be that emo, unsure person that he was. I think he's gonna be a little bit harder when he comes back, a lot harder when he does come back. But I also don't see him usurping. I shouldn't say usurping. I don't see him. Them telling him, "Oh, Robb legitimized you and called you his heir, but Rickon is alive." I don't see him saying, "Oh, well, since Robb named me the heir and legitimized me, then I'm gonna take over." I think he's gonna allow Rickon to be the liege lord. I also believe that he's probably gonna end up finding out about his parentage actually through Bran. I don't think it's gonna come from somebody else. I'm thinking that it's probably going to come through Bran, because Bran is going to communicate with him while he's in Ghost.
That's what I think I'll do. There's one thing, like when you're saying that he'll give it back to Rickon. I don't think he'll have to, Naro, because he's not going to be. If Lady Stoneheart is in communication with Howland Reed, and Howland Reed is in communication with the rest of those houses in the north, with everything that's going on in the kingdom as a whole, and with the North wanting revenge not only against the Freys but the Lannisters, what better way than to instill a son of the North to the throne if he's a legitimate Targaryen or whatever that's happening? Like, I definitely think that in the event that everybody is involved like we think they're involved, it won't even be a question about what will happen with Rickon, because Jon's will have nothing to do with the North. He's the rightful king. Well, in their eyes, anyway.
Sorry, guys. Chuckling at the chat. I love y'all. Okay, so if anybody has, I want to close this out before I transition over into my lit buggery mode.
All right.
Because it's like, it was here before, and now it's like right here. So I'll let y'all sign off. We'll start with Alicia Kingstone.
Thanks for having me on. I think Professor D may have broken my brain a little bit, because now there's more conspiracies and theories in there for me to mull over. I appreciate that, though. I wasn't complaining. And this motherfucker gonna come in at the end.
Johnny, you were supposed to wait till buggery.
Thank you for coming in and ruining my outro, sir.
Buggery, Alicia. Sorry, Alicia.
No, you're not. But that's okay. I love you.
Buggery.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
Buggery.
Thank you for
Don't
singing.
tune in for Buggery. Fuck Buggery.
Oh,
Alicia
wait.
Kingston, it's boss. Sorry, Alicia. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, you bloody wildling.
That's rude.
She wants to say hi.
Oh, because I'm Irish. That's rude.
Really?
We're doing our outros. Go.
I just wanted
Thanks
to
for stopping in, y'all. It's good to see y'all. No, I'm joking. I'm shutting up. I'm sorry. No, I'm shutting up. Sorry, Lady D. You fucking right, Game of Thrones. Sorry. Alicia and Lady D. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
not Lady D. That is the Black Wildling. That's not Lady D right now.
Black Wildling.
Fuck all that. That's Lady D. That's Lady D trying to act like a Caucasian. That's what that is.
It's a totally different person.
This is not.
She's the Black Wildling. That is the Black Wildling.
All right, we will talk about this on
Buggery.
But yo, thanks for stopping into this chat and chilling with us. Can I say that, or is that cheeky?
No, you just got it.
Is that too cheeky?
Wait. We gotta sign off so we can move.
No,
over.
go on. Sorry. Alicia, continue.
That's it. I'll see y'all on Buggery, and as you can tell, the Buggery is going to be lit. So see y'all in a few minutes.
Brittany. I'm sorry, Brittany. I know the Black Wildling is here, or Brittany.
I'm back. I'm here. I'm back. It's cool.
One of y'all can sign out.
I just want to say, it's Lady D. Just want to say, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for joining us. Next week, if we do streams, which we probably will, I won't be able to stream. So that's going to kind of suck. But I'll try to hit.
That's because she's being a responsible adult and she has to travel for work.
I'm being a responsible adult. So, all right, guys. Thank you very much for coming out, checking us out tonight. Please visit all of our channels. We all have great content. So thanks.
Beauty Queen.
Thank you again, Christina, for inviting me. Always a pleasure to hang out with my girls. Hey, Johnny, my new ginger with those water blue eyes. Yo, sexy self. Anywho, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. That I enjoyed the discussion. I'm looking forward to all the other discussions we're going to have in the future. And like Lady D said, please check out our channels. We all have like some great stuff, and hopefully you enjoy what we're putting out. And see y'all in Buggery.
Clarification, yes, we're ending this stream because I was hoping it would have like actual content and not go into my normal BS. My normal BS is about to happen, so we're leaving here. We're just going to end it here, and I'm streaming right away, right here, same place, same channel. I'm about to end this and start the next one, so don't go anywhere. And if you're watching
Johnny enters, yeah, now it becomes absolute bullshit. Thanks, appreciate that.
Yeah, I told you to wait. I told you to wait until we were done with actual content.
Shout out to Val from the wall.
Okay, my sign out. Bye, guys. Go to my real channel, because once the man lets me have my privileges back, I'll be back there. Go to my Facebook group called Throne Life and join it and talk trash with me and my friends. Go to Ice and Fire Con, because the Not So Silent Sisters are going. And we're freaking turning up is like, there's not a word for what we're going to do.
We are going to be staring into the fires of R'hllor and live streaming as we do it, because something got to give. Like, we are clearly about to be like, R'hllor, what the hell?
The only thing I'm not doing is doing that breakdance that the Enchantress was doing in the...
Oh, we gonna do all that.
I'm not doing none of that. We are not doing that.
Not even a little bit.
We're not doing none of that, because I could see Christina say, "Hey, let's break dance," and I'm gonna be like, "No."
She's gonna be able to stand up and break dance because she's gonna be in them cups.
Yeah, we're gonna need to draw the line somewhere. We have to draw the line somewhere. I will stare into the fires. I will stare into the fires. I will stare into the fires.
Well, tell me what you see.
But I will not break dance.
It's a lie.
All right, let's roll over.
All right, we're out. If you like Snapchat and like you like to watch people just like take pictures of themselves and videos of themselves, I like that too. Just I like to watch myself, but I post myself on Snapchat. See the Sphinx. Like, you should also look there because you'll see me like this. All right, I'm out. 3, 2, 1. It's happening. It's done. Don't go to Buggery. You know.